Well, my mother and I were talking about the title of the book and how absolutely funny Ewa would really think that it was, because he would have said, "What, me a legend? Not a legend." And the part I'm going to read is when I was with them in Sarasota at a book signing, at an art gallery signing that Ewa was doing. I sat at the table with Ewa and my mother, and I watched the long line to get his autograph and shake his hand. I thought little of it, since I had been at many book signings, but this was different. As the line progressed, there was a middle-aged woman holding a lithograph she had just purchased for Ewo's signature. Tears were streaming down her face. As she had been such a fan for so many years, and she was finally meeting the man who had brought her such joy. She couldn't contain herself. It was a lithograph of Scooby-Doo, and she was so moved by Ewo's quiet charm and actually meeting such a legend, she began to weep. Ewo's reaction was equally touching. He took the woman's hand, smiled kindly, and generously thanked her. Ewa was not a man who believed he was an icon or a legend. He was just an animator. He actually said to my mother on many occasions, "There's nothing special about me." "Are you out of your blankety-blank mind?" my mother chided him with love. Everyone who knew Ewo, whether within the animation industry, the film industry, friends or family, would say close to the same as my mother did. He was incredibly special. He just never cared about his status. "Drawing doesn't come from the tips of my fingers," Ewo would say. "It comes from my heart. If I couldn't draw with my right hand, I would draw with my left. If I couldn't draw with my left, I would draw with my feet." I always loved not only watching Ewo create, but the special treat of seeing the mesmerized faces of those who were able to share in that treat. Adults and children alike were captivated by not only Ewo's skill, by his ability to entice them into his world. And there are many stories about Ewo's fans. One of my personal favorites, because it cut me down to my knees with its honesty, was a young man who went to Ewo's signing in Dallas, Texas. He stood in line and waited his turn to speak with his idol. When he reached Ewo, he shook his hand and quietly thanked him. "For what, young man?" Ewo asked. "You saved my life," Ewo was told. "How did I do that?" Ewo replied. He looked the young man directly in the eyes, as though he was the only person in the room. "When I was younger, I almost committed suicide. Scooby's humor and love kept me from going through with it," the young man explained. "I'm just glad I was there for you. Are you okay now?" Ewo asked. He replied with great concern. "I will be." The young man shook Ewo's hand, which Ewo covered with his left hand, and then patted affectionately. He gave the young man a smile that emanated directly into his soul.
Thank you.